Unit 8, Part 12. Let's do 6i from page 173. 4 premises, as so. My conclusion, okay, just a quick glance at the form of the premises. I've got a disjunction in premise 1, so I would be probably using disjunctive syllogism to get one of those parts by itself. I've got a conditional, probably a modus ponens or modus tollens, depending on what I need, right? I've got the negation of G. I might notice that this is the same letter here and here, right? That I have the negation of one of these conjuncts, hint, hint, right? Oh, at that stage, I recommend very much you try this one. I recommend very much that you try this one before you see me do it, especially if you've watched all the videos up to this part. Try this one, because something we've spent quite a bit of time on comes into play. And I've got a biconditional, so that biconditional as a whole doesn't occur as a part of anything else, so I'm definitely going to use biconditional exchange and get a pair of conditionals. Let's do that right away, since that's definitely what I'm going to do. P, hook, T, and by do it right away, I mean do 3 steps. The biconditional exchange and then the 2 simplifications, right? T, hook, P, 4, B, E, P, hook, T, T, hook, P, 5, simp, 5, simp, right? So I've got 2 more conditionals to play with now. Okay, let's look at my conclusion. It's S and not T. Now, does this formula appear as a whole, right? As this particular block or as this particular whole formula? Does it appear as a subformula anywhere amongst my premises? Does the whole S and not T sequence appear amongst the premises? No, it does not. That means I'm going to have to construct this conclusion, right? So I need to ask, what rule gives me conclusions of this form? This is a conjunction. The rule is conj. I'm probably going to get this by getting S and not T by themselves, right? Somehow. So it's kind of a 2-track, working backwards, thinking through. I need to get not S, don't know how yet. I need to get S, somehow I need to get not T on separate tracks. That is, I want S to appear on a line by itself, not T to appear on another line, and then I can cite those 2 lines using the rule of conj to get my actual conclusion. Okay, so S, well, look, that appears as one of the disjuncts in 1. So S, I'll be able to get if I can get not P. I need not P to get S. What about not? So I need not P will allow me to use disjunctive syllogism, right? The rule was, the thought was sort of in this order, right? What was it, page 134, or was it 136, I said was the most important page in the book. Where'd the book go? 130, 136, 130. Right, bottom of 136, again, I read you. This is a thought you have. Given that this is the conclusion I want, how can I get it? That is, what formulas do I need to derive it, and what rules will be applied? That's the 2 parts of the thought I always have that I put onto these working backwards arrows, right? That's what I need. What would be the first premise from which it comes? It's going to be from premise 1. Okay, that means the rule that's going to get it is a disjunctive syllogism. That's what that tells me. That's a disjunction from which it's going to come. So a disjunction is going to be the first premise. So it's going to be a disjunctive syllogism. And then the second part of the 2-part thought that you just repeat over and over and over again, and that's what doing proofs is. The second part is, what formula do I need to apply that rule? What's the fulfilling of the second premise of the rule? It's not P. Okay, so I need not P. How do I get that? All right, not T. I could get not T from here, again, if I have not P, right? So amongst the premises, the T only appears in the biconditional. I've already done the biconditional exchange and the simplifications. So if I wanted not T specifically, I'm looking at this one. So notice that again. If I wanted T, I'd be looking at this and thinking to do modus ponens with a P, but since I need not T, I'm looking at this one, right? So I want the negation of T, so I need the negation of the antecedent. So, hey, look at that. Not P also gets me home to there. So basically, right, both not P will get me both S and not T. It'll get me disjunctive syllogism, it'll get me S, disjunctive syllogism on one. Now with modus tollens with not P, I can do modus tollens on not P, wherever that appears, and step 7, and get not T, and then I'm home free, can join them. Okay, so how am I going to get not P? Look at where we are. Not P, so where else does P occur, plus or minus negation? Sorry, it's not P I need. That's my whole problem reduces to this. If I get that, I'm done. Where does not P plus or minus a negation, in this case it'll be minus a negation, a mirror among the premise, fire alarm, in premise 2, okay? In premise 2, we have P as the antecedent of a conditional. So what does that tell me I need? Right? That was the only thing I need. All I need now is, right, I'm going to be getting it as result of modus tollens. To apply modus tollens, I need the negation of the consequence, so I need exactly not G and R, okay? If you haven't done so already, pause at this stage and see if you can see how you get it. How are you going to get not G and R? Where's that going to come from? Well, the only premise we haven't used is, okay, unpause if you haven't tried it. Now unpause. We haven't used 3 yet. Don't know where this R is going to come from, but I do have not G. Okay, so what I need exactly is the negation of a conjunction, but all I have is the negation of one of the conjuncts. Does this sound familiar yet? Right? Hello, it's proof bit 3. Not 4, but actually 3 this time, yes. Right? Because I have the first one, 3 and 4 are basically the same. Negation of the left disjunct was 3, negation of the right disjunct was proof bit 4, I believe. Okay, so yes, so see how the thoughts you had, like, it's all about having the right thoughts in the right order. If you did have the right thoughts in the right order, you would have arrived at the thought where the use of the proof bit becomes manifest, where the fact that you need to use that particular proof bit becomes clear, right? Because what you worked your way backwards, you saw that you needed exactly not P to get these, you saw that you needed negation, yes mate, negation of G and R, you needed exactly that. And at this stage you should have the aha, you need exactly not G and R, correct? And realize the only thing you haven't made any use of is not G. Okay? So if you remember the proof bit, it is, thanks mate. Right, what was the proof bit? Just remember, from not P to not brackets P and Q, that was the proof bit 3. What's this equivalent to by Demorgans? I'm thinking it backwards. Not P or not Q tells me I add exactly not Q, right? Not P or not Q, that's equivalent to that by Demorgans. Add, see that? Yeah. Okay, so I want to add the not Q, so I'm just adding, I've got not G, I just add not R, right? Not G or not R, right? To add, now the Demorgans, not G and R, and I'm home free, right? 8 Demorgans. Now I can do the modus tollens. 2 and 9, right? Gives me not P. 2, 9, M, T. Modus tollens. And that got me home free. Okay, so I get S by on 1, right? And 1 and 10 gives me S by what? Disjunctive syllogism, okay? I'm using disjunctive syllogism on 1 to get my S. Now I've got not P. And I use not P again with this guy, 7. 7 and 10, that's a modus tollens again, right? 7 not P, and T hook P gives me not T, and those are the two conjuncts I needed. So 13 is put them together, well, forget those. That's 12. The conclusion is 13. S and not T. What is it? It's conj of 11 and 12. Conj 11 and 12. Remember, in your conclusions, when you submit your papers to me, if you're printing it out and writing it on paper, don't worry about there leaving lots of space. Do make sure to number each step properly and have a number for this step, and make sure you complete the justification on the last step, conj, and the two numbers which are the premises of the rule. All right, that is 6i. And as you saw, that was that required the use of the proof bit. That's why those proof bits, subroutines, are very important. See how it was used as a subroutine, right? I had to work, it wasn't applied to this conclusion. I had to work several steps backwards, working backwards to arrive at the point at which I recognize that I need specifically the negation of G and R, the negation of this conjunction. And that's when I realized, that one was clear, the connection between this. That was when it was clear what this is here for and what this will do. Although some premises don't need to be used, not every premise needs to be used. We saw in a previous one there was an E, the conjunct E wasn't brought into play. Yeah, I think that was in K, exercise K, from the actual text before the exercises. Right. But there we saw that we needed this, we had this, and this is useful because there is a path. Knowledge of the proof bit is knowing there's a path to the negation of a conjunction from the negation of one of the conjuncts.